What is good, YouTube? E Sosa back with part 2 of my Patellar Tendinitis recovery series. So, real quick, do me a huge favor, hit that like and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. So, part 2 or year 2. I say year 2 just because I'm pretty much going to be explaining my experiences and the progress that I've made in the second year that I've had or I've been suffering from chronic patellar tendinitis. So, also, if you haven't watched part 1 of the recovery series, video link will be in the description. So yeah, I've been suffering from chronic patellar tendinitis or tendinosis for 3 years. If y'all don't know the difference between tendinitis and tendinosis, tendinosis is the acute inflammations over like a long period of time. Tendinitis is the same thing, but it's just over a short period of time. So I've had it for 3 years, but I can happily say that I got rid of about like 95% of the pain in my knee. This is a huge amount of progress that I've made since I first got it. So yeah, so for part 2, I'm pretty much gonna be touching light on like physical therapy, how my experience went with that, the workouts that I've been doing to help like reduce the pain of patellar tendinitis, and then also the patellar tendinitis knee band or knee strap. So yeah, with that being said, let's get right into it. All right, so I'm gonna be pretty much giving you a nice little rundown of how my workout pretty much looked to help combat patellar tendinitis after I lost pretty much most of the progress I made after I stopped doing physical therapy. So I personally thought that this was I know this was very effective into combating patellar tendinitis and reducing the pain. So yeah, we're gonna call this my post physical therapy workout. Yeah, let's call it that. And so with the help of one of the therapists that worked there and also one that I know very well, I came up with, a really good little workout, with some exercises that I put together some of them that I've already been doing before that I also added in there. So yeah, so each exercise I usually perform 3 sets of that. Looking at this, this could be this, you can see this as like a hip / glute dominant workout. So yeah, starting off with a warm-up with either 5 minutes on a stationary bike, or if you don't have a stationary bike available, you can either do like 5 minutes jogging in place, or you can do 5 minutes, like let's say like speed walk on the treadmill. So yeah, after doing that, I normally go into like a nice little I normally do my routine of stretches that I normally do. Doing that, I feel like it's very important when increasing like flexibility and mobility. So yeah, after doing my stretching routine, I usually always start off with monster walks with the resistance band. So I usually do about 5 to 10 reps in each direction. This is honestly like one of my favorite exercises to do. It's pretty much designed to activate the muscles in your glutes and your hips, like more specifically like the abductors. This will have your glutes and your hips fired up, and I don't know. I just really like this exercise a lot. Saying like for somebody who's never really worked their or who's ever like exercised their hips or their glutes, this like really fired it up. And I used to always be like, I would say like sort of sore, but it's just like, dang, I would be feeling like very tired of doing this exercise. But it felt really good though doing that. So next on the list, man, we got decline board squats or slant board squats. So I was doing this with both legs, and then I would end up transitioning later on to single legs. So I would do about 15 to 20 reps. And this exercise is honestly the most tiring out of all of them. Like I would just be drenched in sweat, especially when I was doing single leg slant board squats, and then I started increasing the weight on it. This one got really tiring though, but I could really see the progress that I was making when I was doing this. So just important note, when you're doing this like with a single leg, make sure that like when squatting down on, let's say like the injured leg, make sure you come down at very slow, like let's say 3 to 5 seconds, and then once you're like at least parallel, then try to shift like most of the weight onto the healthy leg when trying to come back up. I would recommend doing that. Just try not to injure your patellar tendon when trying to come up on that injured leg. So yeah, next exercise on the list, we got reverse lunges. I'll do this for about 12 to 15 reps, and I prefer reverse lunges over forward lunges, just because like reverse lunges, they're less quad dominant and they focus more on the hamstrings and glutes. Although I really would like to train my quads more though, but this one has like no eccentric contraction through the quad, which means there would be like less tension over the kneecap and tendon. And I never really like. I mean, I've always noticed like when I do four lunges, I would have like a lot of pain in my knee when doing it, and so reverse lunges helps like reduce that at all, just because there's not as much tension on the kneecap and tendon. Next, we got side lunges. These I would do side lunges for about 12 to 15 reps as well. These are probably the variation of lunges I've never done until I started doing therapy. These also put just like this also puts less strain over the kneecap and tendon as well, and I really like doing this as well too. It's honestly just because I've never really done it before, and I love doing like new things with exercises though. All right, so now we got resistance band clamshells, 15 to 20 reps as well with this. This one also a great exercise for strengthening your hips and glutes. I love doing this like towards the end of my workouts. And then lastly, we got isometric wall sits. I'll do this for about 45 seconds to a minute. And then we cap it out with some stretching, and then boom, that's the workout. I would normally perform this workout twice a week, and then as I begin to progress, I will perform it 3 times a week, and no more than that, because one of the biggest challenges when it comes to patellar tendinitis is implementing the right amount of rest and training. If you don't rest, or if you rest for too long, then that can negatively impact your progress. And same with training. If you train too much or not enough, it would negatively impact your progress as well. So 2 to 3 times a week, no more, no less. Also, usually performing these workouts, also after performing these workouts, I would try to ice the area of pain for about 15-20 minutes to reduce inflammation. All right, so physical therapy. I think one of the most common questions when it comes to getting rid of patellar tendinitis is how effective is physical therapy when getting rid of it. To me, in my experience, I thought physical therapy was a great way of getting rid of patellar tendinitis. I did it for about 6 weeks, and I really, honestly though, I should have done it for a lot longer than that. With how bad pretty much the condition my knee was in, I feel like I should have done physical therapy for a little bit longer, which I'll get more into that later. So from the start of therapy to the end, there is a huge difference, and with how much pain I had, and like the strength of my lower body. So for one, while doing therapy, my PT gave me like a lot of great information. Like information that is very hard to find on the internet, or that you really couldn't find at all. And so they also gave me like a really good amount of workouts or exercises that was pretty effective in getting rid of patellar tendinitis. And they did a pretty good job of like shining light on like a lot of like do's and don'ts, pretty much. So for one, there were a lot of things that I did during therapy that I never bothered doing when I was in the gym. Like, for example, warming up. Well, I should have. Since when I got patellar tendinitis, I was still new into the gym. I was probably maybe 2 years into working out. So, there's still a lot of stuff that I was learning. I never really knew the importance of warming up. So, I wasn't doing it for almost any type of workout. So they made that they really made that important. What I would do is I would get on a stationary bike for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then after that, I'll go right into stretching, which is, I feel like that's very, very important when it comes to working out, or at least with working legs while you have patellar tendinitis. And so before going into therapy, I had no flexibility at all, no type of mobility, and it really showed when I was doing squats. I couldn't really get low. Feel like I was doing half squats or something like that. And so physical therapy, it really changed that, and now I'm able to do full range of motion of squats easily, no problem at all. And also with physical therapy, there is this method that was called dry needling. And so dry needling, I know a lot of people aren't a fan of needles, and I mean, I wouldn't say that I am or anything like that, but I thought it was really cool doing it though. They would stick these thin needles through the skin, and I think I'm gonna show you a picture of this or anything like that. So if you're not a fan of needles, then I'm sorry. But yeah, they would stick these very thin needles through the skin into the areas of the muscles, or the areas of the muscle pain that was also known as trigger points. And so you get these small muscle contractions or twitches that would create it would create a little bit of pain, but it's only a brief amount of pain. So it wasn't it wouldn't last very long or anything like that. And it was honestly it was considered a good sign, that it would show that these trigger points, they were being hit. And so they would needle areas like your quads, they would needle your glutes. I can't remember what else they did, but I thought it was pretty effective in reducing pain, and it also increased the blood flow around there as well. I thought overall that PT was really good. It was really effective, and it was kind of fun, honestly, though. I had some great physical therapists. I would highly recommend that if you have access to it, then go ahead and do it. And also saying this, like, people would think that, I progressed pretty well, and then after PT I was good to go. And no, that wasn't the case, honestly. My tendonitis came back even worse. It's just because, like, I did one of the worst things you could possibly do. I'm pretty sure, I think I talked about it in part 1, and that's just going, like, right back into your regular routine or anything like that. After physical therapy, I was going right back into playing basketball, working out like how I was before I got tendonitis. And I thought I would be fine, and no, it came back even worse. And I also thought I feel like I was, like, released, like, too soon from physical therapy, and I progressed a little too fast. And then after getting hurt, I didn't even go back to therapy. I was just so pissed, and I'm just like, man, so physical therapy really got me like this. And I'm over here talking bad about it. I didn't even bother going back to report to them, like, what was happening, so they could help me, like, figure out like what I did wrong or anything like that, or get me back on track. I just call it quits. And I was, like, really, really mad. And it was honestly, like, depressing, just like this like how much pain I had in my knee. All that just came right back, even worse. And so, PT's here to, like, educate you and get you to the point where you feel most comfortable and that you're able to progress on your own. And I thought I was, but me not listening, I'm just like, not even taking any of their advice after that, thinking I was straight, like I didn't need it, I'm feeling 100%, and boom, hurt again. So that's the mistake that I made, which I would hope that y'all would make no mistake like that as well, where it can come back even worse. And so one of the biggest things that you would do after therapy, so it's not like a waste of money or anything like that, is just ease your way back into your workouts. Make sure that you pay attention, listen to your PTs. They give you so much good information. Make sure you just do all that. You'll be straight after that. All right, so the tendonitis knee strap that so I have here this, what we got right here, my tendonitis knee strap, Mueller brand, that's the name of it. I got off Amazon for like $10 to $15, I think. It's not expensive at all. The knee strap, it's applied under the kneecap, and so what it does is that it's, like, pressed up against your patellar tendon, and how would I say this? It would tighten up, like, the knee mechanism. We'll say that it tighten up the knee mechanism, providing support to the kneecap, and it would help ease the pain. It does have its doubts, but I feel like people would just think that with having a knee strap on, that it would help, like, I would say, like, it does help ease the pain, but it doesn't, like, help strengthen, like, your tendon or anything, or it wouldn't help, like, strengthen your tendon or anything like that. It's not like the end all answer to patellar tendonitis. And I feel like people, when they wear this and think that they're gonna be good after that, the tendonitis will be cured or whatever, it'll just go away. But no, that's not the case. It's not gonna help strengthen. It's just there to support it. You got to do your strengthening exercises, all that kind of stuff. This is just here is just a little bit of support, what I'm saying, to me it helped, I really just ain't like the look of it, like I'm sitting here playing basketball with it, and I just have one strap on my knee, and it just looked I feel like it looked goofy, and then I just kind of stopped wearing it just for that reason. But it really did do its job, though, of help easing the pain and help support my knee. I just didn't like how it looked, though, honestly. So yeah, this will pretty much just wrap up part 2 of my patellar tendonitis recovery series. Thank y'all for watching. Stay tuned for part 3. I think that'll be the last video. Hope this video helps in any sort of way. It helps with any of y'all suffering from patellar tendonitis, or y'all think that y'all have it. This will be pretty helpful as well. Make sure y'all leave any comments for any questions, concerns, or if I left out anything or I got anything wrong or anything like that. I would love to know that. I greatly appreciate it. Make sure you also hit that like and subscribe if y'all new. I'm out.